guys, it's Shania from the Red Fairy Project. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about how to beat the winter blues. And it's funny, I went to the hair salon today, and in case you hadn't noticed, and it's actually my hairstylist that gave me the idea for this video. So I was asking her, I said, is there something that you're struggling with right now that you would like maybe some advice on, some tips on? And that's one of the things that she mentioned. So my beautiful Vero, this one is for you. So obviously, I mean, depending on where you live in the world, but a lot of us have like an actual winter season with like cold and gray days, and it's dark at 4:30 and just, yeah, it can be really challenging. And I have a few tips, like everybody, I have my blah winter days for sure, but I have a few tips that I think would be helpful to make you feel a little more inspired, a little more uplifted, especially at this time of year if you're watching this in February when this video comes out. So before we get started, make sure that you subscribe. If you're on my channel, make sure that you click the subscribe button below so that you receive an alert when a new video comes out. I put out new videos every week, every Sunday evening, just to make sure that you get that weekly dose of inspiration just at the right time to start your week on the right foot. If you are on redfairyproject.com, make sure that you sign up to the weekly newsletter. It's the best way for me to get in touch with you, to let you know that I have new content coming out, and it's the best way for you to stay informed, to make sure that you don't miss out on anything. So, tip number one. So I recently read in a book that I talked about actually in another video that we need about 15 to 20 minutes of sun 3 to 4 days a week, and it's about between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. I believe. So this is something that we need on a regular basis, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for myself. In the winter, I do not get that at all. So obviously the sun, there's a health obviously factor to this, but there's really a emotional factor, a mood factor as well. And a lot of people do suffer from really serious winter blues, and one of the reasons for that is the lack of sunlight. So even if it's a gray day, they say that it's still really good to go out to get, even if it's like partial sun or whatever you can get, and just like take a 15-minute walk, let's say, outside. When you think of it, like, it's not 15 minutes of like fresh air in your day. It's not really a luxury, but it has a huge impact on your health, your wellness, and your mood. So make sure, I know there's like these artificial lights that you can buy as well, and I've actually heard a few people try them out and they said that they were really good as well. I know that they're like not cheap. I haven't tried it yet, so I can't really say like how good they are, if I believe in that kind of stuff or not. I'd be tempted to try, to maybe like buy one at some point, but the best thing is obviously natural sunlight. So definitely jot that in your calendar, put it in your phone, and make sure that you get like at least like a nice 15 minutes 3 to 4 days a week. It really isn't that much. Second tip, and I know this is probably an obvious one, but eat clean, eat good food, drink lots of water. We are what we eat, right? So if we eat crap, we're going to feel like crap. And obviously over the holidays, if we're talking about like the winter period, over the holidays, maybe we drink a little too much, we eat a little too much, and sometimes I think that kind of continues on, either maybe like the consequences of that, or maybe some of the habits of that in the winter time and all that more after the holidays. And in general, it's not going to make us feel too good. So definitely, if you're not eating great food, it will definitely affect your mood. And I can say personally that if I eat like, you know, crap for, I don't know, like a couple of days, or like in the holidays, sometimes if I drink a little more alcohol, it definitely affects my mood. Like alcohol, they say, is a depressant. First of all, it's a poison that you put in your body, and I do drink like wine from time to time and all that, and Prosecco. But if you drink it on a regular basis, it definitely makes you feel more like foggy in the morning and throughout your day. You'll be maybe less motivated to work out, and that actually covers my next tip, which I'll just lead into now. Exercise. Exercise is one of the best remedies for the winter blues, and just for the blues in general. I've read so many things about it, but more importantly, I've experienced it myself. I see people in my life that don't exercise and that have a lot of ups and downs, and their downs tend to last longer. And exercise is a huge mood booster for sure. First of all, there's the endorphins that are released. Second of all, I mean, if you're healthy and you feel good in your body, you're just gonna feel better. You're gonna be in a better mood. It's also a great stress releaser. So a bad mood can be associated to stress, to where if you're constantly kind of caught up in worry and all that. So exercise is a great way to release all of that, all the frustrations that we might have in a day. So exercise is key, and pick something that you enjoy doing. Pick something, I mean, if you hate the cold, don't go outside, maybe work out inside. And that's what I do right now. I work out at home. I also like, I like snowshoeing and stuff like that, which brings me to my other point, spending time in nature. Guys, like, that is where we come from. If we're stuck inside all the time, in an office, in our house, or whatever it is, indoors, it's kind of like, it kind of goes against our nature of who we are as human beings. And nature's where we come from, and it's really important to go back to that on a regular basis. It might be trickier for certain people if you live in town, but even if it's just like going to a small park and like just walking around for a few minutes, looking at the sky, looking at the sun, looking at trees, taking in like a nice few deep breaths, makes a difference. A similar kind of therapy for me is like animal therapy or zootherapy. So like, I love going to see horses. There's a place like not too far from here, and it's beautiful. It's in the country, and they have like, I don't know how many horses. It's just like this amazing place. And I just like hanging out there, and it puts me in the best of moods. So remember some of the things that do put you in a good mood, and make sure that you allocate some time to those things. Another tip that works for me is surrounding yourself with inspiration, with beauty. So important, especially once again, if it's like the day is kind of gray and it's cold outside, and like that's hard. That is hard, like psychologically, if you want to deal with that, like especially if you live in Quebec and Canada and the winters seem to last for like 8 months here. It's insane. But like, surround yourself, make a conscious effort to surround yourself with beauty. So it could be like, maybe like lighting a nice candle, so there's like a nice fragrance and it looks pretty and it makes the room a little more, like, it creates a little bit of ambiance. Maybe it's buying flowers for yourself. Maybe it's making sure that your home is nice and tidy, or buying maybe a new frame or new sheets or whatever it is. Like, remember, like, we are visual beings, and all these different things that we see, that we observe in the day, and often it's very like, it's on a subconscious level, we don't even notice it anymore, but it does make a difference. So if you're kind of feeling sluggish and the house is a mess, like, that is not going to help your mood by any means whatsoever. So really surround yourself with beauty. That is, I find it makes a huge difference. And I mean, I do this year round. This is for me one of the most important things, is surrounding myself with beauty and inspiring things and all that. But in the winter in particular, makes a huge difference. Speaking of surrounding yourself with beauty and inspiration, make sure that you surround yourself and you take in positivity rather than negativity. And I'm thinking right now, like, we're in February, and the elections weren't that long, the US elections weren't that long ago, and there's just been a lot of like, there's been kind of like a negative mood and atmosphere a little bit, I guess. And it's really a conscious decision that we make, whether we choose to surround ourselves with positive people. That is a really key thing. Make sure that you're careful of who you hang out with, who you expose yourself to, and if there are maybe some negative people in your life, you might want to reassess some of those relationships. And make sure you're careful about the kind of, like, you know, the information that you expose yourself to, also like the news in the morning or late at night before going to bed. Going online, if like the first thing that you open in your web browser is, I don't know, MSN.com or whatever, CNN.com or whatever it is that has like news in general, they try to be very kind of like, there's a lot of sensationalism, so usually it's negative. That affects us. We might not notice it, but the accumulation of the exposure to that kind of negativity, it affects us. So whether it's stuff you see online, whether it's people in your life, make sure that you surround yourself with positive energy. And my last tip for me that's kind of tried and tested when you are feeling those winter blues is self-care. And my gosh, we forget that sometimes. And I think that sometimes we feel selfish if we allocate too much time or too much importance to self-care. But it is so, so key during, whether it's the winter blues or maybe just like a more difficult moment in your life, or honestly, I believe in self-care like at any time in your life, but in particular in more difficult moments and during the winter blues. So, I mean, self-care is it's a very personal thing. It's whatever you prefer, whether it's yoga, a massage, a manicure, pedicure, I don't know, just like having a nice bath and listening to your favorite music, maybe to go see a play that you normally don't take the time to do that, spending time in nature, whatever it is, self-care is really important. You really want to recharge those batteries, especially at this time of year where our energy level is usually a bit lower for various reasons. You got to take time to really recharge, and self-care for me is one of the best ways to do that. So once again, it's a personal thing. It really depends on whatever you're into, and that'll change over time as well. But make sure that you reserve time, I would say every week. Even if you're a busy mom and maybe it's just like 15-20 minutes, it's better. Something is better than nothing, right? So there you go. Those are tips that have worked for me. If you have any great tricks to beat the winter blues, no matter where you are in the world right now, let us know. Let me know. I would love to try new tricks. I'm sure that other viewers and other readers as well would like to have a few more tools in their toolbox to make sure that they stay in a great mood during the winter time. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up if you're on YouTube by clicking below. It's the best way for me to know that you're enjoying this type of content so that I can continue sharing these videos with you every week for free. So thanks for watching. Love you guys. Bye.